You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's easy to sum it up. We're talking about practice.
Because it's about as casual as it gets. What's the problem now?
That's a clown question, bro.
I think we ought to send a beating in at least.
World champions!
Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
Philadelphia, looking as only you can look. Woo!
Here we go.
What's up, gentlemen? Gentlemen, I mean me and idea. I'm Chris from DEV Sports. Usually Eric is here and he does all the intros, but he's dealing with some personal stuff, and our other co-host Pat is out. So it's me and the Brits guy to the NFL today. We're here to discuss a little bit of the Eagles' big win last week. I know it's been a full week, and how confident we feel going in today's game. I'm saying 17-0, but and we'll talk some of the games going on today. But with that, let me lead it over to Calum from Brits Guide the NFL. How we doing today?
I'm not bad. I'm hyped up for the game. That intro is so exciting. I just can't wait for the game. Like you said, I think after the big win last week, I think there's a buzz around. I mean, you'll know better than me living in Philly. Like there seems to be a huge buzz around the team after that win, because I don't think a lot of people expected the Eagles to come out and just absolutely smash the Falcons to pieces.
No, and what's funny is like a lot of people didn't have the Eagles winning, and that's fine. Listen, I'm very skeptical. I'm on here saying I don't have confidence in Jalen. Doesn't mean I'm not going to go against him. But you have your rookie coach, second-year quarterback. We don't know what we got from him other than his dance moves in the preseason. He didn't really impress me the last 4 games of last year. I mean, he put up stats, but they still went 1-3. So there's a lot that was questioned, and I have said on multiple podcasts and multiple episodes that the key to the Eagles' win was going to be able to run the ball efficiently, which they did. It came from Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders had, I think, 19 touches for over 100 total yards. That's great. That's what we need. Jalen Hurts was successful running the ball. He was 7 rushes for 60 yards. He threw 3 touchdowns. Goddard, Devontae Smith, and Nelson Aguilar. Or not Nelson Aguilar, I'm sorry. Jalen Reagor. I apologize for the Nelson Aguilar comparison. But that was going, and then the defense, they made adjustments. Something we haven't seen, in a while. Like I know that the Eagles won in 2017, but they were a bend but don't break defense. They didn't really make adjustments, and you saw Gannon come out and make adjustments. So it's going to become 90s football. So we just got to make sure that they keep up with that. Going into today's game against the 49ers. 49ers are banged up. They don't have their top 2 corners. Everyone's hurt. And we're going to see if Jordan Mailata is worth the money that he got. He's got all that money, and he's going up against Joey Bosa, which is no easy task. I don't care who you are. We're going to find out if his money was earned today. So, what are you taking from last week's win?
Well, yeah, just to go back to what you said about the defense and how, they've adjusted. I think it's something which is quite refreshing to see after, Jim Schwartz, for whatever he was, he was good. He ended up, helping us win a Super Bowl. But yeah, like you said, it was a bend, don't break defense. And, I think sometimes you got to, move with the times. And I think the NFL is changing in that there's a lot of influx of young coaches coming in. And everyone's becoming a bit more adaptable. And you're seeing, the coaching staff like Sirianni and Gannon coming out and saying, we're going to, play to our players' strengths, which is quite refreshing to hear, actually, rather than setting up a rigid scheme and not really changing anything or adapting. So, I mean, in terms of what I took from last week's game, I think, the defense was hyped up, especially the defensive line, which I think is, when healthy, one of the strongest in the league. That partnership of Cox and Hargrave, Javon Hargrave finally looking like, what we expected to see out of him when we got him from the Steelers. I think that could be a really strong duo, going forward. So I think the defense was predictably good, but I don't think many people thought it was going to be that good, especially with the lack of depth in the secondary. That's my only concern, is that if Slay goes down, if Nelson goes down, the Eagles could really turn into a bad team if one of those guys goes down. But yeah, I think for me, it was refreshing to see a lot of dynamism on offense as well. I loved Sirianni's the way that he handled that game and the way that Jalen handled the game. I'm a big Jalen fan. I followed him from when he played at Oklahoma, so I've seen a lot of development. Especially from struggling at Alabama and getting benched and whatever that was, and then going to Oklahoma and becoming, a Heisman contender, and just the way that he really improved under Lincoln Riley's helm. So I'm really excited to see what Jalen can do this year, and I think that Sirianni set him up perfectly in last week's game to succeed.
Nah, he really did. They got that run option going. You saw how efficient they were. It really was amazing. I mean, let's be realistic. They went down 3-0 at hand. They went down. They just went down so easy, and Eagles held them to a field goal attempt, and then they come back and they score. And when was the last time you can remember as an Eagles fan that a wide receiver caught a fade?
Yeah, that's a long time, isn't it?
When was the last time you can remember that rookies made an impact?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It was awesome, ridiculous, and you're just like, wait a minute, rookies ain't allowed to do that. So now we go. So big win last week. Now San Fran's coming in now. Now it's been 20 months. It's been 20 months since the link has sold out. Since there's been a full stadium. I had posted on Facebook yesterday, and I think people took it the wrong way. And Keith Newman saying Bosa is going to ruin our Sunday. He very well may be, but Keith Newman is good at trolling people. So he's an Eagles fan, and I'm going to put it right out there, whether he's going to say he's not. But you always hear about Eagles fans. You hear how loud they are, how ridiculous they are. And you kind of figure that Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts know what they're getting themselves into. I think Sirianni he's insane to begin with because there's nothing wrong with the way Sirianni's attitude is. But I think he's going to get brought back to earth a little bit when he walks out and he sees that fan base. It's going to be insane. He's going to be like, wow. He might change his first play of the game if it's on offense. Needs to be a play action pass to Devontae Smith like T.O. did 16 years ago. That place will blow up. If he does that and he completes it for a touchdown, it's gonna be pandemonium. It's gonna be insane. It's going to be insane. I want the call, Paul. I want that call right now. I'm calling play action pass to Devontae Smith. The 49ers fans showed up. Dressed a Rocky statue. Have we not learned that just doesn't work in the city of Philadelphia? You're trying to troll us, and it's really not a good thing. It hasn't worked out in their favor, in people's favor. Just remember what happened when the Vikings did it. Their team got blown out. I'm not saying that the Eagles are going to go out and blow out the 49ers, but it could happen. A win could happen, and are you going to go pose with the Rocky statue again? They do it at night when no one's around. If you're going to be a troll, be good at it. Do it when people aren't watching, or do it when people are watching so that you get the booed. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm calling for a play action pass to Devontae Smith and for a touchdown. And you might hear it from across the pond. You might hear that stadium go nuts. Your TV's definitely going to shake if that happens. You're going to see the screen go up and down like this if that happens. And I'm excited. I'm always excited. I was going to miss the game today, but unfortunately, unfortunately, my son hurt his hamstring yesterday in baseball, so he's out for a week. So he's on bed rest. So I get to sit back and watch the Eagles game while he's laying in bed playing Xbox. So, woohoo, hamstring! But it's the home opener. It's been 20 months. Like we've waited for this. I think the last time was the playoff game, if I'm correct. Maybe I could be. Was it the playoff game against Seattle when Wentz got injured? Was the last time they had a sellout? Been 20 months. 20 months.
And I think just to go off of that, like, if there's anyone that I want leading the team out of, in a, like you mentioned, like in a stadium that is so favourable to home teams, with the atmosphere and everything, it's Jalen Hurts. Like, this guy's played at the highest level of college football. He's played at two of the biggest programs in the country. That's always a concern when you draft guys like Carson Wentz, who play at North Dakota, which is, no criticism of North Dakota. I've never been there, but I'm guessing it's not as big as Alabama or, Oklahoma in terms of college atmosphere. So like,
hold on, your disdain for Carson Wentz lately is comical. Like I love that you've done a little bit of a 360, and not that you're not a fan of him, but you're just like, you blame him for a lot of the Eagles' attributes, last season. And I find, and hey, listen, he was responsible, but I feel like since the first time we talked, it was like, now you're like, nah, screw Carson Wentz. I'm glad he's on the Colts.
Well, I mean, I was never a big Carson fan ever, like, to be honest. And I don't know. I think half of it is on him, and some of it is on the organization for some of the failures that they set him up with. But then again, like, when I look back at it, like, when people say, like, oh, you didn't build a team around Carson, you didn't help him, like, they put a lot of draft stock into, first and second round receivers and stuff like that. But, injuries happen, things didn't work out. Like,
first and second round receivers, JJ Arcega-Whiteside stinks.
But they drafted the second round receivers, so it's not their fault, really. I mean, fair enough, he's not good, but they put the stock in and put it.
So they put a lot of stock into a receiver that stinks. How's that Carson's fault?
No, I'm not saying it is Carson's fault, but I'm just saying people like to say, oh, they didn't draft enough talent around him to, provide him with weapons. But like, the guy, like, at the end of the day, the guy quit on the team, and the guy refused to get better. You disagree?
I'll give you that. He had a lot of stuff to work on. I will absolutely agree with you. Like, he's got a long windup, but I'm not going to sit there and say that the guy quit on the team. The team quit on him before he quote unquote quit on the team.
Well, I think it's very similar to the Ben Simmons situation, to be honest.
I mean, you got guys like Alshon Jeffrey who all of a sudden play for Jalen Hurts. I don't want a guy like Alshon Jeffrey on my team anymore. I don't either. He did it. He played through the torn labrum, and I love him for that. But after that, he got that contract, and then everything went down.
But do you think it's not a coincidence that, like, once Jalen came in, like, the team just looked so much better? And I think that speaks to that. I know the record, but like, in terms of the eye test, like, the guys looked much better, much more explosive, and made plays for Jalen.
Yeah, they made plays for Jalen, but that could be a number of different things. What's up, Frankie? But to sit there and say that they played better, they went 1-3. Jalen Hurts committed 3 red zone turnovers in the fourth quarter against Dallas.
But he's a rookie. He's a rookie quarterback.
Three in one quarter in the red zone inside the 20. I'll give you 3 a game. I'll give you the Ryan Leaf, stats of 3 turnovers a game. I'm not giving this guy a pass for 3 turnovers in the red zone in one quarter. One quarter, not a game. No, stop it. One game. I'll give you, not one quarter. No. He looked terrible against Washington. I mean,
I think if Jalen stays in that game, they would have won that game. Well, they pulled him for.
But you know what?
Reasons that we know. You can
sit there and say that, but Jalen Hurts looked very. What is the word? He looked very pedestrian against the same players that Carson had when Carson was going, 4-2 in the last 6 games of the 2019 season. And Jalen Hurts looked like me playing quarterback, running for his life. Chase Young was going to end up throwing that dude into the stands if he ever caught him, because he kept getting the ball away and he kept throwing it away, which is good on his end. But he looked pedestrian. Now he's had a full training camp. He worked on his dance moves. He didn't play any football, and he came out last Sunday and he was on fire. Now, don't get me wrong, Atlanta stinks, but I'm not going to fault the guy for who he plays. Like they put him on they put the Eagles against the Falcons. The Falcons are a rookie team too. They're still playing Matt Ryan. They still have Kyle Pitts. They still have a decent run game. They still have Calvin Ridley. So, the Eagles came out on offense, hitting all cylinders, and from that one point on, and the Falcons were just getting shut down. If we would have gotten to a shootout, we might have seen what happened. And he's right. I'm not saying Carson's an average quarterback. He was a first round pick for a reason. Just like when people say Jared Goff is an average quarterback, there's a reason that these guys are first round picks. You can put up all the stats in the world. A loss is a loss, is it not? I don't care if Rodney Peete used to win games in the 90s for the Eagles. He's the only quarterback I know who could throw 4 interceptions in a game and somehow would lead the Eagles to he went 9-4 for the Eagles that year, and he led them to the playoffs. So I'm not sitting there and saying that Carson's an average quarterback. We'll see what happens. He obviously had a rough go around it last week. I mean, I really don't care what he does. As long as he plays 100% of the field at the time, and the Colts stink, and we get a good pick, I'm okay with it. Carson's not my guy anymore. As you can see, I'm wearing a Randall Cunningham jersey, not wearing a Carson Wentz jersey. But Carson Wentz, he's like Frankie said, he got paid on one. He got paid on one good year. Unfortunately, that's the going rate. When the Ravens won in the Super Bowl, Joe Flacco got paid. As I just saw this, which is crazy. As I was just bringing that up, Flacco got paid because he won the Super Bowl. Hey Jack, nothing is official yet. I think it's usually around 11 what the inactives come out, like the official inactives. I mean, and we kind of did lose when we took Hurts, because this team could have been in a different situation. And if they go 10-7 this year, whatever, that's fine. But one, Jalen Hurts was a projected 4th round pick. Number 2, if you don't know what you wanted 2nd round, you do what every other team does. You take the best offensive lineman available. You can never have too many offensive linemen.
Especially when you got Carson playing under center. Needs as much protection as he can get.
Right, you're right.
I feel like I should just calm down on all this Wentz here, to be honest. But like you said, I don't care about him.
Right. Hurts is playing better than Wentz. I don't care about Carson Wentz. It was just brought up for the comparisons, because we were talking about, the struggles of 2020 and, how fans are going to be back. I don't care about Carson Wentz. He's not my quarterback anymore. And that's what I was saying in the offseason. I was like, I just need to know who my quarterback is so I know which jersey I'm going to wear. Am I wearing Jalen Hurts, or am I getting a new Jalen Hurts jersey, or am I getting a Carson Wentz jersey? I'm glad I didn't get a Jalen Hurts jersey last year, because he went from 2 to 1. So I'm rocking my retro Randall Cunningham jersey from my grandpa. And you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with it. Look at that. Look how pretty that logo is. Look, there you go.
Very
you
nice.
Got your,
yeah, I've got a little Devontae Smith one.
There you go. You can't go wrong with a Devontae Smith jersey.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we're rooting for our team. I'm going to bring up a little controversy. When the Eagles signed Michael Vick, it was the biggest news in Philadelphia. Probably shouldn't have signed him. It is what it is. I always sit there and joke around. I said, listen, this guy's playing quarterback for my favorite team. I just want him to win games in the Super Bowl. I'm not asking him to dog sit. I just want him to watch. I want him to win games. He did his time. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to root against you. It's like when people sit there and say, well, they were right about Carson Wentz. So you're glad that Carson Wentz stunk because you were right, rather than the Eagles be successful. It goes, like you just said earlier, it goes back to the Ben Simmons situation. You were glad that not you, but I'm saying fans were glad that they were right about Ben Simmons. but not mad that the Sixers lost. Like you'd rather be right. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. But we got the Devontae Smith jerseys going on. I see the Zach Ertz jersey in the back. Obviously Zach Ertz has blonde hair. Now Jason Kelsey has blonde hair.
Yeah, did you hear about the bet?
That's a funny bet. That's Zach Ertz had some inside information. You can't tell me he's out here looking like now. You got Tony Boy Curtis from the Outsiders, playing center and tight end for the Eagles, which I love.
That was pretty surprising though that he just came out like in front of the media and said it, because it's something that I don't know if one of them's for Jason Kelsey to bet on Zach Ertz not being here, like he must have had. Like Jason Kelsey's, one of the biggest names in franchise history. Like, surely he has inside info as well. So I'm not sure. But it's an interesting one.
Yeah, Talking 215 wants to go over and see the Brits.
Oh, I love them boys, Jake and Frankie, man. They're good guys.
So it's 10:36 here. What time is it over there?
It is 3:36 in the afternoon.
Okay, so you guys.
Yeah, so we the early kickoffs will be at 6 p.m. here.
Okay.
Is it 1 p.m. there?
Yeah. So it's 5 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
So so obviously the Brits guide to the NFL. There's usually two guys who run it. One is obviously Calum, and the other one, I am saying your name correctly, right?
Callum, but
Callum.
Yeah.
Callum. Damn it. Damn North American. We don't even use the metric system. And usually the other guy is Greg. And Greg is a Buffalo Bills fan. Unfortunately, he didn't want to come on today because Buffalo lost last. No, that's not. he had other things.
To clip that up and send it him.
Absolutely. He had other things going on prior engagements, which is fine. Have you talked to him? Since like the end of the Steelers Buffalo game, like how's he feel?
Well, he was angry. I'm not gonna lie. He sent me a couple of text messages, and he's like, "This play calling is horrendous." And looking back at some of the highlights, like there was some very questionable plays. Josh Allen struggled to throw the ball deep. The Steelers' defense were just, predictably very good. But TJ Watt fired up after that contract extension. Like, I think, like, I don't know. I'm slightly hesitant to say the Bills are going to be great this year. Like I know a lot of people are saying, Bills, this is the year that Josh Allen takes another step. The Bills are going to go to the Super Bowl. Like, what if Josh Allen had one really good year? Like that could literally happen. Like the Bills might not be as good as people think they are. We've only seen one elite year from Josh Allen last year. Like who knows? Like things could go wrong. Like we've seen it before. So I'm a little hesitant to say the Bills are going to go far this year, and I know that's going to annoy Greg, but yeah.
So it's funny you sit there and you say about, and by the way, Jock Talk, who is joining us from YouTube, we hear that I'm a part of the Philly Alliance and CEV Sports, but Philly Alliance has we do collaborations with the Pennant Lines, so. We're streaming to their YouTube channel, so thanks for having us. But you hope that Josh Allen isn't a 1-year wonder, because it's almost a Carson Wentz situation all over again. It's the guys are just handing out money, and you're handing out money for stats. Like Dak Prescott got paid on stats. Dak's a really good quarterback. I was very, I'm not against the guy. I just didn't think he was good coming up. I thought he was overrated. He had a good run game. He had Zeke, he had a good, but you can't argue now. He's putting up stats. He's putting up stats.
And that game scared me as an Eagles fan. Like I don't think anyone was expecting him to come out after all that injury talk in the offseason and just put up numbers against the Bucs.
I get it, but they lost another offensive lineman. Like it's not an NFL season without a Dallas Cowboy getting suspended for substance abuse. Like unfortunately, it really is. But you can only teams are going to figure out they were getting the Dak last week and they were like a step away from him. There's going to be a time where if they can't get that run game going, he's going to get hurt. He's continually throwing off his back foot. You just hope that he doesn't do it against the Eagles, and that's a huge game next week. That's I think it's Monday Night Football. It's I'm
It's
pretty
going to be
sure
a late one.
it's that for you guys.
Yeah, it starts at like 1:00 in the morning, so I might have to watch like the first half and then tape the rest or something and watch it back.
I was going to say, now, would you go to bed and then wake up, or would you just stay up and watch?
Yeah, sometimes I've done a bit of both. Like last year, there was a Eagles Giants game I think on Monday Night Football once, and I think I watched like the first 2 quarters, and then I was literally falling asleep because it was about 2:30, 3:00, so I had to tape the rest and watch it back in the morning. But
yeah, Jock talks from California, and he's up early today. 7:41 over there, so they got the luxury, man. 10 a.m. football starts, 1 p.m., then 4 p.m., and then you got the rest of the night to yourselves. I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Damn, that's crazy. So they basically get a full day of football like before bedtime.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
So I would love that, but unfortunately, football games will never start at 10 a.m. I would love it, but so you got Dallas, who's coming into next week, and then did you watch the Monday night game, or no, the Thursday night game between the Washington football team and the New York Giants?
I watched the highlights.
It's
the Giants are a joke, by the way.
They always find new ways to lose.
Yeah. Joe Judge is so overrated. Like the guy's a fraud. Like imagine having a coach who challenges a scoring play. Like what a disaster they are. I mean, they're just, the front office, arguably one of the worst GMs in the league. They just consistently, like you said, find ways to just fail. Yeah, it's just a disaster.
In Philadelphia, we often refer to that as, because the Phillies, one of their rivals is the New York Mets. And, when the Mets do something stupid, it's like, oh, the Mets are going to Met. Well, the New York Giants they're going to Met it somehow, and they did. Now the reports out that the guy wasn't offsides, like the center hits the ball. Say what you want. Like you had a holding call on a touchdown run that there was no need to hold, and your guy quote unquote jumped off sides when he didn't need to. Like it's like you got to be more responsible, more disciplined, and that was the thing that out of the Giants training camp was that he was hard on his players when they would do something stupid.
Yeah, they're making them run laps. Like there was fights breaking out. Dan Jones was at the bottom of the pile. Like that's when you've hit a real low, when your quarterback is at the bottom of a pile.
Right. Like your starting quarterback is gonna get murdered.
Yeah.
Like and I'm on record of saying I think Daniel Jones stinks. I think he's overrated.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I think Jalen Hurts is better than him. And again, this is me like 3 months ago when I had zero faith in Jalen Hurts. But when you look at the eye test, I think Jalen Hurts is better. Again, I have no problem eating crow that because I was a Carson Wentz guy last year. I think he got screwed last year, but now we're into this year, and so now like. A couple of people on social media brought up that I was, that I was wrong about Jalen Hurts. I'm like, how am I wrong about Jalen Hurts? It was one game. But I'm not rooting I'm not rooting against Jalen Hurts. I just had my feelings on him last year. So of course, after that, I just went on social media. I was like, I love Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is my guy. And I got like multiple messages like, I hate you. I hate you so much.
But I think you brought up a good point in terms of like, this is a new era. Like whatever happened last year, whatever side you were on that debate, like this is a new year. This is a new team. Like this is the first time in a while that I've been really excited about an Eagles season. Like new coaching staff, like Nick Sirianni brings the energy. The guy, I think Jalen's going to be the guy, but whatever you think about that, like this is a new team. Like there's young players to be excited about. Like for me, this year's a free hit. Like whatever happens, like I think they're going to be maybe an 8 or 9 win team. But whatever happens, like as long as we see development from the young players, from Sirianni, it proves himself to be a competent NFL coach. If Jalen's consistent enough to not be tempted to draft another quarterback in next year's draft, like or trade for one, who knows how he does. But like this, I
swear to God, if they trade or draft for another quarterback, I'm throwing myself right out my window.
Well, this is the thing. I really don't want the Giants. Like, I want the Giants to be bad, but not bad enough to draft like a Spencer Rattler. Because I'm a bit of an Oklahoma fan, so like I've been watching a lot of Spencer Rattler. Like, I don't want Spencer Rattler in New York. I really don't.
So here's the thing: you got to remember something. The Giants didn't get Devontae Smith. Their fan base will tell you that they were okay with not getting Devontae Smith. They're liars. They're liars.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what they say. You know, I have groups that I argue with. You're lying. You said. However, the Giants did make a good trade. They got a first-round pick next year. They moved back, and they drafted Kadarius Toney, who you have more receiving yards because he's got -2 receiving yards, which is phenomenal. I love that stat. But you know, they made saying they didn't want Devontae Smith because of the trade they made. I'll give you that. But if Devontae Smith was there, you wanted him. You can't. There's nothing you could tell me till you're blue in the face that your face matches your jersey that you didn't want him. You wanted him. Yeah. There isn't anybody in the league who didn't want him. So the Giants have the Bears' first-round pick next year, so they could very well have 2 picks of the top 15. So now you're bringing up the Oklahoma game. Did you see the game yesterday?
Yeah, I've just watched the highlights back because that was another late kickoff. So.
Did you see that ridiculous interception?
Oh, unbelievable. One of the best catches I've seen.
And the quarterback, Spencer, whatever his name, I can't think of his name.
Spencer Rattler.
Like, did you see his reaction?
Yeah.
I was cracking up.
Yeah.
And then the announcer's like, well, wow, that was a good play. That was 4th down and you lost 16 yards.
Yeah.
But like, as you know, as a player, you forget like stuff like that. Like, you're just going up to make a play. And it really does look like he just went up to try and like knock it down, but you know, obviously he caught it by mistake and came down with it, and you're just like, oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
So you think Spencer Ratliff, is that his name?
Yeah.
You think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback?
I think so. Yeah. There's been over the past few years. I don't know if you saw the documentary he was involved in on Netflix called QB1, where they basically tracked his journey throughout high school and going into college. Like, he had a few off-field issues in terms of like disciplinary stuff, where he got fined and banned a couple of games. But I think if he can put that off-field like stuff behind him like this, I mean, he's already been branded as, you know, the next Mahomes. Like, there is a few things to polish up on. Like, there's a couple of times this year already that he's tried to throw it into triple coverage and it's just not worked out for him. That
won't work in the NFL.
Yeah, no. And to me, like, there is a couple of QBs that are trending towards that QB1 status in next year's draft. Like, Sam Howell had a disappointing start to the year. A lot of people are excited about Malik Willis. Matt Corral as well had a good game last night for Ole Miss. Like, there's a couple of guys that everything's a bit up in the air in terms of who's going to go, you know, QB1 in next year's draft. So, but I think Spencer Rattler, just because of the program that he's in and the guys around him, like, he's probably going to be, you know, up towards that upper end of the conversation. But then you got guys like Bryce Young for Alabama, who's, I mean, let's be honest, like, any quarterback looks good in that Alabama team right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right. And speaking of that, I don't know if he's starting, but Landon Dickerson, the Eagles' 2nd-round pick, like, come on, Brandon Brooks, Jordan Mailata, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, and Landon Dickerson. Like, if that line starts today, Jalen Hurts might not know what pressure is. And I know Bosa is great. Like, I'm, you know, even just go to another game, you know, like, he's gonna stand back there and he's gonna make a cup of tea and then throw the ball. Like, that's how much time he's gonna have, and that is how you build a team. You build a team through your draft. You build a team through your offensive line. That's why the Eagles won in 2017. They protected the quarterback.
And you know what, that Landon Dickerson draft pick, like, initially, like, when that first came in, I was a bit like, you know, like, I saw a few of his, you know, his injury history going around Twitter, and I was like, really? Like, this could be a pick that quickly backfires if he picks up another injury. But like, when you think about it, like, something which Howie and Sirianni have been going on about all through the offseason is they were really trying to prioritize, like, high character guys, like people who really love football. And like, when you draft in like people from, you know, programs like Alabama, like, these are guys have come from like an inherently winning program. Like there's no reason that Devontae Smith can't be one of the best receivers in the league because he's come from a winning program. He has the talent. Like this guy, like you hear him come out and say like, someone asked him what did you do to celebrate the touchdown last week? He went home and played like 2K or whatever. Like Devontae Smith is like the real deal. And when you draft like him and Landon Dickerson from Alabama, like I think that's what this team needs, like high character guys to be excited about.
Right, and that's we'll get in we'll talk about that for a little bit now. We'll talk about Nick Saban. People always get mad. Like if you talk to other college football fans, because I'm an Alabama guy, I don't really have any ties to Penn State. I mean, I root for Temple. I hate Penn State. I hate Notre Dame. So I root for Alabama because they're quote unquote the dark side, the bad team. And everyone's like, well, I don't understand how Nick Saban gets these players there. They probably pay them. I said, no. I said, Nick Saban walks into your house and says, your son's going to be on an NFL team in 3 to 4 years, and he'll probably be ready in 6 years. And you know what? As a parent, as a player, you're going to Alabama. And that's how he gets the best players. And that's you have that little bit of swag that you have already. Other than Mac Jones, who has
So, my mic keeps going in now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, you have that. We'll see. And like you said, Devontae Smith, a character guy. Landon Dickerson, a character guy. Like these are all guys you want in the league. Like you don't want guys who beat their kids, beat their wives. And unfortunately, it happens. And I'm hoping that it doesn't happen with any of our guys. But those guys you just don't want on your team. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Like I don't want them on my team. I know you don't want them on your team. So why take that risk? I don't know.
Yeah. So, and you see, like Landon Dixon, like you can already tell, like he's going to be, the successor to Jason Kelce. Like he just has that bit about him. Like you see him on the sidelines, where it turns up in the sort of farmer's outfit or whatever it was in preseason, and then he's on the sidelines, cheering on the guys. Like he is someone you want in that locker room. And I think it's something that the Eagles have lost a bit since Malcolm Jenkins and big character guys like that left. Like now is the time for players to step up. Like it's crazy to think about. Like Greg Ward is the oldest in that receiving room. Like it's time for these other guys to step up, these high character guys, and take charge of this locker room going forward.
No, and you're right. And Devontae has dance moves.
Yeah, that always helps as well. Yeah.
Right. So, but no, you're right. You want guys, and funny thing about Landon Dickerson is like he ran out of his house before his fiance or his wife to see what his outfit was on, which is just great. Like this, like again, this guy's gonna. I'm hoping that he like you said turns into Jason Kelce. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Jason Kelce knows he's getting old. He knows, he's like, listen, Jason Kelce is the guy who's probably turns around to these guys and say, listen, you're playing a kid's game for football. Go out there, have fun, dye your hair blonde, dye your hair, just you're having fun. Don't get hurt. That's it. Don't do anything stupid. Like how hard is it to not be stupid when you're playing a game for millions of dollars? It's not that hard.
Do you know what? It's such an interesting point where you look at the best teams in the league. You look at the Bucs, like, and Tom Brady walks into that locker room. No one's messing about. No one's gonna. He's a guy that is gonna keep everyone in check. Like you see it with Antonio Brown. Like after all his controversies, like coming out and balling, like with Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady will have kept him under wraps like throughout that season, saying we're gonna win this Super Bowl. Like if you guys aren't on board with me, then get out because I don't want any controversy surrounding me. And we all know some of the controversy surrounding Tom Brady in the past. But like this is a guy that there's certain guys that when they step in the locker room, you're like, right, we're not going to mess around. Like this is football.
like, Tom Brady goes into that locker room in 2020 and said, "Listen, guys, whatever happened in 2019 with the previous quarterback, that is what it is." He's like, "But we're gonna win the Super Bowl," and they're looking at him like, "What?
Yeah.
Like, who is he?" He's like, I know it's Tom Brady, but they're like, "Dude, you're 40 or 40, however." And then you come out and you win the Super Bowl. Now damn well they're listening to him this year. Not saying they didn't listen to him last year, but this dude has taken multiple, discounted contracts in his career to win Super Bowls, and he's doing it again. That's a dude you want on your team. I'm sorry. You can have his controversy in the past, but he's a winner. There's nothing else you can say about Tom Brady other than he didn't shake Nick Foles' hand. So
that's one thing that does annoy me about Brady. Like, he did it a couple of times last year. I think it was at home against the Chiefs where they lost, and like you just see him walking straight down the tunnel, not shaking Mahomes' hand. Like, that's something that, come on, Tom, you can do better than that. Show a bit of grace.
Okay. So, but so what is your prediction for today's games?
For the Eagles,
Yeah.
my prediction is the Eagles are going to win. I think it's going to be a close one, but with home field advantage, Eagles fired up about last week. 49ers almost lost it to the Lions. Lions putting up 33 points against the Niners worries me if I was a Niners fan. Like, they nearly let that slip last week. Like you said earlier, they've lost a couple of guys, a couple of the starting corner. Nick Gary's going to be activated, which could be fun.
Wait a minute, they re-signed him? I must have missed that.
Nick Gary is activated for today's game.
Oh my God! Please.
Yeah, which means Devontae Smith is going to run rings around him.
There's no, that's like me covering Devontae Smith. It just shouldn't happen.
So
I like it. So you got an Eagles win. So all right, so it'll be 2-0 going into primetime football Monday night. Wow. But like I had said earlier in the beginning of the show, I think the first play of the game should be a play action pass and to Devontae Smith.
That would be crazy.
It would be insane. Like, and you're going to be jumping up and down if it happens. I'm going to be jumping up and down if it happens. It's
Greg is going to have to calm me down, because we're doing a live show at 6 as the game starts. So if I see a Hurts bomb to Devontae Smith, like, I'm going to be going crazy, and Greg's just going to be like, "Why didn't I become an Eagles fan?"
If it happens, I want recognition because I'm the one who called it.
100%, yeah. I'll definitely give you credit for that.
Eagles are bad. Why are the Eagles bad, Bob Tebez? I mean, why are they bad? Tell me what makes the Eagles bad. If you can tell me why the Eagles are bad, I'll agree with you. When no one's sitting here saying, I mean, obviously I joked around and I said 17-0, but I'm not. Okay.
How many wins do you think?
I had the Eagles at 7 wins.
All right. Okay. So it's not too far off me. I said 8 or 9. But
so Jock Talk is saying the Niners played third stringers in the game. Okay. They're playing backups today. So why wouldn't
Nate Gary looking backwards?
Nate Gary is just
a total disaster.
No, we don't know what kind of we don't know what kind of coaches Nick Sirianni is. We don't. But
that's the exciting part, surely.
But that doesn't mean the Eagles are bad. I get it. We jumped over the Falcons. I absolutely get that. But saying that the Eagles are bad because you don't know why Nick Sirianni, what kind of coach he is, that's like just it goes back to the Carson Wentz thing. It was Carson Wentz this, and I'm like, I'm sorry, not even that. I won't even bring that. It's like saying Philadelphia fans are terrible human beings because they boot Santa Claus. That's a lazy sports take. To me, that's lazy. Ziggy Marley's got the Eagles at 10 wins. I like it, Ziggy.
Nice. Let's get Ziggy, a bit of positivity.
I'm waiting. Listen, I have no problem coming on this show. I have said multiple times that the Eagles end up with a winning season this year, I will wear a tutu live and dance for you in the beginning.
I want to see
But-
that.
So if I mean, the core of the defense is old. It's not that old. I mean, Steven Nelson's old. Okay, I'll give you Darius Slay. Rodney McLeod isn't playing, so we know that's that's your old guy. Fletcher Cox has got some years on him. Brandon Graham obviously is 10 years in the league. I'll give you that, but they're rotating these guys in and out. It's not like they're playing 75% of the game. If that was happening, then I'd be like, you're absolutely right. We're old and we have nothing to show for it. But they're rotating. Like Jonathan Gannon is rotating these guys in and out. And Callum had said in the beginning of the year, in the beginning of this segment, that if the first two corners go down, any of them, really, if one goes down, there's a little bit of deficiency there. So I think Ziggy wants to see me in a 2-2 too. So
I think the line is deep though, especially at end as well. When you've got I really want to see Milton Williams, play a big part going forward. I know he's someone who's incredibly versatile, can play a D tackle or end as well. He's slightly undersized.
Exactly right there.
Like when you've got people like Josh Sweat, and who knows what's going to happen with Derek Barnett. But
why is Josh Sweat? Oh, Josh Sweat isn't old.
He's like 24, I think. Is
right.
It?
That's a great comment by Ziggy, by the way. The core is full of Super Bowl champs. It's full of veterans, and he's right. Now the Eagles are a 3-point underdog. I get it. It's a rookie head coach, and it's Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but for me, the Niners, if I'm picking outright, the Niners' best chance to win is starting Trey Lance, because I think Jimmy Garoppolo is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL.
And he's not someone who's going to scramble. Like if you, that like was just mentioned, like that Eagles D line. Like if they get to Garoppolo, like at least with Trey Lance, like he has a mobility to run away. But like Garoppolo,
Exactly.
I mean, he's not a guy who's going to scramble. So he could be in trouble if the Eagles get to him. I know the Niners have a decent O line, but we'll see what happens.
Obviously Joey Bosa in their front four is good, but if Jalen Hurts can get at her. But let's go back. We're going to rewind a little bit because I wanted to bring it up before we head out. Can we talk about for 2 seconds Jordan Mailata's block last week? Has anyone seen what he did to that corner? Like he should be in jail for attempted murder. I think. It was ridiculous. Like anybody watching right now, have you seen it? Like, because I will.
How do you even recover from that? Like, imagine that clip just being posted everywhere of you just getting absolutely slammed onto the floor.
Slammed.
Like, I don't know how he got up, to be honest, after that. That was a big hit. That was a proper rugby hit, that.
All right, hold on. I'm going to play it for the people in the back who didn't see this.
And there recovers Sanders
at this moment that he knew he up
on the fake. Instead, Rager.
Bam.
Dead. He died. Like
the guy's an athletic freak. Like because of his background, like he's in rugby. Like the guy is so athletic and so quick for his size. Like it's ridiculous. Like he has so much upside. Like I think it's almost worth just like. I think it was a good move to sign him to that contract because if anything else, like the guy has huge upside. Like obviously there's still a lot of technical things that he needs to learn, but in terms of upside, like I mean, he has the potential to become one of the best in the league if he really polishes up on his technique and stuff.
So we're gonna end the show. Thanks to Callum for coming on. But I just got a tweet that says Lincoln Finance and Field Workers are laying out Go Birds t-shirts. It's a whiteout today. I don't know what that means. I
saw a clip of that.
I only thought it was. I thought it was only. It was only a Penn State thing, but apparently it's an Eagles thing. But hey, listen, Go Birds! We all know the statement.
Go Birds!
Obviously, thank Caleb for coming on, a Brits Guide to the NFL. Obviously, he's on Twitter. Give him a follow. Do me a favor. Where are you going live at during the game?
We'll be live on Twitter through this StreamYard as well.
Okay, do me a favor. When you go live and it hits your Twitter, I have you guys followed, but tweet at me. I'll join.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll go with you. So if you guys go on, give the Brits Guide live a follow. Unfortunately, the other guy, he's
he's a Buffalo fan. He's okay. He's got plenty of stuff to worry about.
He's in the corner hiding because of last week's game. Obviously, thanks to our sponsors, La Terrain Watches. Their watches are really nice. I have my co-host from the Diamond Club podcast when I do Phillies. He wears his all the time. I'm not a big watch guy, so I go naked. I might get one. I might get one for my wife. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I will say big shout out to Monkey's uncle. The guy Keith is smoking some really good stuff. Oh God, I don't even want to know. Big shout out to Monkey's uncle. They're a big sponsor of ours. I'll actually be doing a live show from there in 2 weeks, hopefully with Eric. Eric's dealing with some personal issues right now. So follow us on Twitter at all our handles. Follow Caleb and the Brits Guide for some good quality NFL talk. And I think that's it. And we're on the Philly podcast on Spotify, Apple, and all the other platforms that are put out there that Eric puts all that stuff out there for us. Obviously, we're streaming right now on Facebook Live on the Philly Sports and Lions guys. They're going live soon. They're actually down at a tailgate right now. So I'm hoping that they're sober when they go on. Because I just let's not, give another reason to make fun of Eagles fans. Obviously, the Peanut Lines, thanks for having us on your YouTube channel. Thanks to everybody for commenting. And anybody who's on Twitch, Twitter, I like, and listen, he's right. These guys are hitting their points. Like, they really are. Like, they're hitting their points. Like, we brought back the core of our team. Jalen Hurts, their offensive line. Like it's like these guys, they're hitting these. Even if I was against arguing that, the Eagles wouldn't be good, I would figure out a way to debate them. But right now I can't, because they're right. Kenshin Humrai. I'm sorry if I have no doubt that I just destroyed his name, but he's right. Both sides of the ball have Super Bowl champs on it. You got Zach Ertz, who's won a Super Bowl, though. The Brandon Brookses, the Isaac Salamalos when he's got to come in. Like these guys, they're core guys. They're right. Like these guys, they're hitting. I'm hoping you guys join us next week if we come on. I know next week we're going to come on. We're going to talk, next Thursday we're coming on. We're doing some fantasy football talk, start 'em, sit 'em, scenarios. And then, like every Sunday or, as many Sundays as we can. I know me and Caleb have talked about, coming on. Hopefully Greg can talk on it and doing a just talking about the games going in at 1 o'clock. Well, 3 o'clock their time. But, get some football talk, because there's only so much Fox NFL Sunday you can take, and from CBS and all them and ESPN. Join CEV Sports and Philly Sports Alliance and a Brits Guide to the NFL. Like, listen to us. Like, we're fun.
I will say, did you see the Peyton and Eli Manning coverage on Monday Night Football?
I did see it. And
what did you think?
You know what? That drew in an extra 800,000 viewers, they said. So
I
you're
thought
going
it
to
was
see
good.
a lot of that.
Yeah,
no, it was
really
good. It was good. I mean, Eli murdered Peyton, but it was good. It was good stuff. Like that's what we like to. That's as fans what we want to see.
Yeah,
like
especially getting like Russell Wilson on as well. Like that's what people want to see. Yeah.
A lot of people don't like Eli Manning. I don't know why. I mean, I get it. He's got his whatever you don't like him for because he's a Giant. I mean, the guy's still a Super Bowl winner. He's a Hall of Famer. You can say he's not, but at the end of the day, he's got 2 Super Bowl wins and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Like, other than that, guys, thanks for joining us. And join us next week. Hopefully I'm back on during the week. I know Monday I'm doing a Diamond Club podcast. And then Brits Guide's going on at 6 p.m. on Twitter. Go to their Twitter handle. Follow them, comment. And like I said, play action pass, touchdown Devontae Smith. Guys, thanks for joining us. Calum, thanks for joining. I keep butchering your name. I'll figure it out by the end of the season.
Thanks for having me on.
See you guys.